What's going on, everybody? It's TekMuNNee. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. It's Monday, July 27th. It's about 10:22 a.m. Eastern as we're getting started. We're in the money, rambling and gambling sports. The official MLB plays that I've been providing is 5-2. The UFC MMA fights the rambling and gambling teams picking is, I believe, 11-4 from the weekend. If you want to catch that action, definitely follow Rambling and Gambling on Twitter and kind of follow them and just see what they're up to. That they're covering the UFC. I'm just here to I'm literally just sharing my picks, why I'm taking them. I'm not doing anything different from the aspect of that. It's just more of what's in my brain, what I'm doing, how I'm breaking something down, how I'm looking at it. I'd be doing the same thing if I wasn't on social media or whatever, just doing my thing. I was full-time options trading all the way up until basically about March, and then with some family things going on, I said I'm going to take a break in that until fall. So to be honest, it's just recent that I'm just putting how I break these things down, look at what I'm doing. Otherwise, I go do that I'd be making these bets on my own, right? So I just want to let you know I'm sitting here sharing you why I'm putting money on something. So today, the one official play that I'm going to have in MLB is Milwaukee Brewers money line. Now, the line's been jumping like crazy since I was even trying to submit. So I got in at 157 at DraftKings. I think it did jump to 170 immediately after I submitted. What happened was I got into Bet365. It was at minus 150 all morning. I got into Bet365. I saw it. As I go in to hit submit, it asked me to approve changes. I believe it was 170 or above. I said, let me check the other app. I saw DraftKings at 157, so I just went in for 2 units there without even thinking about it. I guess I wish I got one more unit maybe, but it's okay because I don't think this is one of my super favorite games I'm picking in the last few days. But I do like the Milwaukee Brewers money line, and here's why. I think this is going to be a result of the Brewers bats hopefully waking up against this setup against Pittsburgh. The one thing I am worried about is we all know this. Milwaukee Brewers can strike out a lot. If you watch, you've seen that overall. They can strike out a lot, especially against this situation. But what I'm also wondering against someone like Steven Brault, which I believe is a lefty, and I've heard this in a couple of podcasts, and I was already thinking about it. Well, it had me thinking about it because I saw the Yankees do it yesterday. Was a platoon lineup. So I think, Milwaukee has the advantage of throwing a whole bunch of righties out there. So when I just go over data real quick and just some of these fantasy sites that are out there, and there's a whole bunch of fantasy information out there, so you just got to get careful with what's comfortable with you and what's going to help you out. But when I look at overall, when I just look even anywhere, like the ERA for Brault's just no good, and you know that. Sierra is above 5, ERA above 5. He walks a lot of people, and he does give up a decent amount of hard contact. You know what I mean? So what intrigues me right there is Christian Yelich. He has seen him before. If you switch over, you'll see down here in the bottom, 364, 11 at-bats, 1 home run. And Yelich himself, batting against lefties, he's really good. He's 402, ISO 277. And the thing here is he's got very good hard contact, above 46%, and he doesn't strike out. So if we can somehow get some men on, right, taking the advantage of throwing a whole bunch of righties out there, there's some history in here. Look, some of these guys don't have good history, but remember, when you got a lot of at-bats, I like having history sometimes. I don't just assume it may be crappy. There's room for some progress there, or just some, learning from your past experiences. A good batting coach may give advice of what to do approaching this pitcher or whatnot. Just thinking positive. So the one good thing is that Yelich has a good history. He has good hard contact, and Brault can give something up. So I'm taking the angle that I think the Brewers can beat up on Brault. That's the angle. I'm not having too much faith on a lights out pitching type of game, like we've seen other days. I think overall on the slate today, I was going through games. I'm just seeing I didn't see that much pitching setups that attracted me. Like I would take Glasnow back in the day, but I think Tampa Bay, what I saw from a beat writer, I like following beat writers because they should have a good idea what's going on. A Tampa Bay beat writer, I think he's on a short lease. So, and again, I didn't go into detail today. I got a lot going on. I just kind of knew where I wanted to not be, like what to fade. So Glass now ideally would be a beautiful setup on paper, but I'm ignoring them. But like outside of that, I'm liking Hauser. It's not sexy, but it's decent for me. Where I think the advantage of our bats beating up on Brault is the reason why we win this game, and maybe Yelich could even be a real good help to that. And the good thing about Hauser is, the bad thing is, and it's again, these are just metrics that hopefully correlate out. They don't have to always happen, right? But Hauser reminds me of the Dakota Hudson stat yesterday. He's not great at striking out the opposing team here, but Pittsburgh doesn't do well batting at home. So maybe that'll help out. And the other key thing is, if they're not striking out, then they're trying to hit the ball, and Hauser seems to have a very high ground ball percentage rate. All right, about 53 something percent. 53.4, I think. Yeah, 53.4. So when you got some of these hitters like Josh Bell, I know he's only seen him twice. So we got to assume, imagine this, just thinking it out loud. He only sees the pitcher once today. He gets a hit, and he gets a home run. He's now going to be looking at, if you look back on hindsight on paper, he's looking like he's 333 with a home run. And now you're like, if you're coming back to this game, you're worried about, that bat. So you got to be careful when you have low data. And then you also have to be careful when you have a lot of at-bats with the bad numbers. So same thing, you can do better here maybe. You can do better here as well, situations like that. So Frazier's hitting decent, Moran's hitting decent, Newman, depending on who's all playing. Just not a lot of history to give me any conviction. That's why, I like Hauser as a setup. He has a lot of ground balls, so maybe he won't be striking people out, but maybe we'll see singles and line drives, and we'll get double plays, and we'll stay safe from the pitcher angle. But that's why I'm not really relying on the pitching for us to work out. I'm really relying on the bats. I'm hoping the bats wake up here today, and that's my angle. That's why I'm taking the Milwaukee Brewers. I will mention this. I never actually myself take over-unders, very rarely. If you notice on the weekend, I picked an over and actually won by a run. It was the Pirates and the Cardinals game. And going through my homework, I was just thinking, I'm like, man, Lester's going to get beat up. Lester's going to get beat up. Lester's going to get beat up. And, Wade Miley, hit or miss. So I was just already thinking, like, wow, an over. And I started peeking in Bet365 around 8:15 a.m. And I noticed and I never do these, there's a team total over Cincinnati, 4.5 at -125 at the time. I was actually looking at something related to that game to compare to if I like the Brewers game more. I had to kind of narrow it down. Now, I didn't have anything concrete for that Reds game, but I just want to share my thought process. But just be careful, because I'm totally fading that idea now and went right to the Brewers, because there's definitely rumors of COVID outbreak on the team, so there may be more players sitting out, and Moustakas is out. And if there's more players out, if you notice, I had a home run list. I had Castellanos and Suarez on there for potential to hit a home run today. Imagine if one or two of those guys are out. So it just changes my whole perspective of that game. And what I mean by changes perspective, versus me still having a stronger core confirmation of what I'm liking and what I want to see with the Brewers. So that's why I'm taking the Brewers money line. Stay green. Good luck. A lot of games out there. A lot of you guys capping a lot of games. Stay green. Good luck. Wish you the best. TekMuNNee. Rambling and gambling. Let's stay in the money. Let's go 6-2.